day in, day out. It
Wait
cuts you off it a bit.
So Kelly and Tracy.
Audio Jungle.
80% of women feel like they should lose weight before a wedding, but only around 18% will
Is that true? Or is that something that doctor will say to a woman?
actually achieve their weight loss goal. And in this episode of Secret Eaters, we meet brides-to-be Kelly and Tracy, who have the aim of losing weight for their wedding day. They claim...
Wait, they getting married? Huh.
They have no idea where their weight gain came from, and they will do anything to lose it. By the end of the episode, we will find out whether or not they are successful in their journey. But
yeah. By the end of this video, we're gonna actually find out if they actually lose the weight or are they gaining more weight.
We need to meet the pair.
Did you try to like cut down on the food you're eating and work off that food? Because that's the case, then your weight will definitely slowly go down.
Fat foods, anything to try and lose weight. It should be about size 0, never mind. A size 10 or a 12.
Tracy listing diet pills as the first method of weight loss she tried is honestly pretty sad, and sort of telling that they just don't have much education on how to lose weight. She also lists cutting down as one of the things that she's tried, and it's no surprise that this failed as well. As when you cut down and have no clear or defined goal, it is sort of destined to just fail. If she'd tracked her calories instead of doing these sort of fad diets, she would have found losing weight easier.
Have you always...
She should like calculate how much she eat and see what is more calorie. Like why you saying about 50? Why both y'all saying about? Like, are y'all sure y'all at that current weight? Are y'all sure y'all actually lost that current weight? Or y'all just lying for the cameras?
Started the relationship. How much did you weigh?
About 11 and a half.
Oh, 11 and a half.
11-ish.
You've both put on 4 stone?
Yeah.
About 2 stone a year you've put on?
Y'all are lying for the cameras.
Okay.
You don't
Putting
want
on
the camera
100
to know.
pounds between them in 2 years is pretty rapid weight gain. The way that Kelly says she pretty much starved herself sort of tells me that she wasn't exactly dieting in a healthy way either, or just wasn't used to the feeling of being hungry because she's ate so much for so long. If she was eating food with more protein or more volume while dieting, she maybe wouldn't have felt starved.
More protein and less of the junk, more of the protein and the healthy food, she probably wouldn't be acting the way she is.
I also think the women get...
So you're the guy and she's the... It makes sense. It makes sense because one of y'all want to put in a nice good suit on. It makes sense.
Wear like fat pants to pull
it all in. But you dress like a dude.
Fits nice at the front.
That's why I understand. She really dress like a dude.
I'd love to look in the mirror and think, wow, I've done it. I've got the dress that I wanted, the size that I wanted to be, and I just can't wait to get them. Wait for Kelly to say yes. I'd be happy.
With 9 months until the wedding, Kelly and Tracy are desperate to lose weight.
I can't really relate to not fitting into a wedding dress, but I do know that most women will want to lose weight for a wedding, and it's totally understandable. And also, 9 months is a ton of time to lose the weight. If they each lose 1.5 pounds a week, they could lose almost 60 pounds in time for the wedding, which would pretty much undo all of the weight gain.
So, you're saying if they cut down on the stuff they're eating, work out a little more, and eat less of the junk food, they can lose about 16 pounds before the wedding? I'll applaud them if they actually does it.
The last 2 years. So it's definitely doable if they stick to their calorie targets and don't lie themselves on what they've eaten, which as we'll soon see won't be the case.
You're trying to be healthy.
Try to be healthy.
The couple also made a food diary to get a sense of how many calories they eat, with Tracy claiming she eats around 1,500 calories a day. And I can tell you, without even looking at anything she eats, this is just a barefaced lie. Kelly, on the other hand, claims around 2,300, which is a bit more realistic, but still, this is way lower than in reality, because you don't pile on that much weight by eating that amount. Anyway, enough of this setup, because the first night of them being watched has just started. Maybe what I said before about them eating well in front of the cameras was a bit wrong, because the first thing we see them eat is a chocolate bar on the night. Now, this isn't exactly the worst thing in the world, it's just the two...
Already, look at it. Already, that's like 185 calories just off of that chocolate bar. Just from that, y'all already adding more calories to our actual weight. And y'all talking about y'all want to lose the weight so y'all can fit y'all dress in a suit. How y'all gonna be able to fit in there if y'all already eating that much calories?
Calories, but the next meal the cameras catch will be a lot worse and will show Tracy's poor attitude to diet. Sounds like a massive full English breakfast. And before I say it, how many calories do you think it would be? Because I worked it out, and obviously
how many calories do y'all actually think? Me giving you my guess. My guess, I'll say, it have to be about, I can't say 200. I'll say about like maybe 5 something, 600 something. Around the average.
using generic ingredients and not including all the oil that these fry-ups are cooked in, it would be a minimum of 950 calories. So for her breakfast, she would have consumed almost half of her claimed daily total. Things like these full English breakfasts, people know are bad for you, but I just don't think people know how bad they are and how many calories they have. And to make matters worse, when Kelly gets home, she has even more food, this time having what looks like 2 fried eggs and honestly half.
Did you already eat? How you still hungry after eating food? Like, if I already have a big breakfast, I won't be hungry until like 3, maybe 6 p.m. Not right after.
Loaf of buttered bread with tomato ketchup. I actually think this might be the most bread that I've ever seen anyone plate up for themselves to eat, because that is absolutely insane. And Anna gets a dietitian to break down the calories.
Toast with small amounts of spread, just a splash of tomato ketchup, and served it with some grilled tomatoes and mushrooms. She could have halved the calorie content of this meal.
1,000 calories in what is essentially just a plate of bread and butter is pretty ridiculous. But I also don't agree with the dietitian. And I know that makes me sound like a 600-pound life patient,
wait a minute.
but changing the way you cook your eggs will not make a huge difference. If you just use a low-calorie spread or oil your pan and cook your eggs, you can still have fried eggs and it'll be fine. But the biggest cause for concern is the amount of bread on the plate, and realistically, she should only be having 1, max 2 slices of bread if she really wants.
I say that again. All she could eat was just the bread by itself, and she'd be good. Or she could just eat the egg by itself, and she didn't have you to eat the bread, the butter, and she didn't need no ketchup, all the other stuff.
Wants to lose weight. Anyway, it's time for Tracy to go under the microscope and see what she's been eating the week here. And I think in her head she thinks if Kelly doesn't say it, then it doesn't exist. But in reality, the only person Tracy's lying to is herself. I think I've made it known by now that I'm not a huge fan of the diet advice given out on these shows. And before we move on to see the rest of their diets, I want to take a look at the advice that this show gave for its snacks. The show recommended against snacking on sweet treats and replacing it with a high protein snack. Then immediately
high protein snack? I don't understand what you're talking about.
Recommended eating avocado on rice cakes, which has barely any protein, and to be honest, I can't think of anything more miserable than wanting something sweet than having avocado on a rice cake. I don't know why the show didn't recommend
y'all ever had that? Y'all ever tried avocado on a rice cake? I never did it. I want to know how it tastes, and if it did taste disgusting, I'm not trying that.
Some Greek yogurt with honey and dark chocolate, or a whey protein shake, or even something like overnight oats if you want to get fancy. It annoys me when these shows make out healthy eating to be super complex.
They try to get fancy and mix up the ew.
It's honestly boring, when in reality you can have some sweet treats as long as it fits your calories. And it's frustrating to see that the show never talks about counting your calories and what it is like to be in a calorie deficit. Anyway, rant over, and let's see.
Why y'all laughing? Y'all think this funny?
Massive!
That's small.
Anna is right. These Sunday dinners are ginormous, and Tracy is just objectively wrong. This isn't a small dinner. This is a 600-pound person's dinner. And it's not even the sheer volume of food on the plate. It's the mountain of butter and cream cheese she put in the mashed potato too. Tracy's just adding so much fat and extra calories into these plates. It's ridiculous. And also, just a quick side note, Kelly is having yet another full sugar Monster energy drink with her meal.
That full roast dinner had around 1,500.
The Monster energy drink only to wake you up and keep you agile throughout the whole thing and while you're working out. Not a normal whatever.
amount of calories in these energy drinks will be one of the main culprits in Kelly's weight gain. Because even though they're really high in calories, she just isn't feeling full from them. Her blood sugar is spiking, then crashing, causing her to feel the need to have yet another energy drink. And so with this, we are at the end of the diet segment, and both of the women are tasked with changing their ways. Kelly is asked to cut down on her sugar intake, while Tracy needs to stop snacking so much and cut down the portion sizes.
So basically, what you're saying is they got not awesome, but they got cut down. So basically, what the man girl gotta do is cut down on the drinks and energy, and then the woman gotta cut down on the portion size and eat less of the portion, less of food, basically. Just eat less food.
Both of them have the ultimate goal of losing weight, and now let's see if they've achieved this.
Went through.
I don't understand this. Did they actually lose weight? Or I don't even get the point of this video. Yo, if that video was wild, you haven't seen anything yet. I put my funniest reaction right here in this playlist, and YouTube thinks you love this special video next. Click one of those, hit the sub button if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.